So I was cruising through this pretty quick yesterday, and I think I did pretty good in making progress. A 4-week course. I was almost halfway through week 2 in the hour and a couple of hours I did. I skipped a lot of the lecture because he's talking a lot about things I already kind of know. I mean, I've been a programmer for a long time. I just didn't know anything about Python, so I thought, take Python fundamentals. Probably not the best route because, wow. um, I'm trying to decide. All right, so I'm doing things that are kind of both. I'm doing VS Code, I'm doing Apollo Server, I'm doing GraphQL, which is what I was working on yesterday afternoon. So today I don't have as much time. I'm going to basically do this all morning, and then in the afternoon I got to start working on something else, and then I have another thing meeting at 3 something. So let's get to it. Let's find my Python basics course, and I will pull it over here. Now I don't want to necessarily share. Oh wait, nope, that's my that is the wrong thing. That's my actual workspace. This is the Python course, I think. All kinds of messages. The Coursera tries to give you goals, challenges, how far to go, what are the odds of passing a test. I mean, you know, what other people have done. But again, it has a lot to do with who you are, you know, your level of experience. And so we're doing, I gotta make sure I'm logged in, that everything's showing my current state of. Okay, so I'm supposed to be on week 2. And how far am I through? I'm doing, oh yeah, we're starting arithmetic operations. We'll see how that goes. I don't think it's going to be, I mean, arithmetic operations probably not going to be all that difficult. It's not like geometry.
We have practiced assignment operation, and we also learned the different data types. We add 2 numbers together, and we have manners, which is subtraction, subtracts 1 number from 5, etc.
I mean, these are literally just doing math with variables.
And it gives you the reminder. For example, 1 divided by 2.
They're telling you, okay, so remember, I don't remember. A lot of different languages use different code, different symbols, different code nomenclatures for things like equals and setting, which is sometimes double equals. No, double equals is comparative, single equals is setting, but like in VB, they're the same. Additionally, there are other ways, like 2 pipes can be or, 2 ampersands is, and these are short-circuited, as in they actually will, if the first one fails, then the second one doesn't happen. Or if the first one succeeds and it's an or, then it won't bother with the second one. So you kind of have to learn each language's way of doing that, because some do different symbols. This generally plus and minus standardized. Division is typically a backslash, forward slash, multiplication and asterisk, standard fare. Python's no different. So if you use, okay, so Python's a little different, or at least I think this is different. I could be wrong. A forward slash is division, which will return a float. However, if you want to do integer division, you do double forward slash, and that will return an integer. Which means if you use double forward slash, you're probably going to bypass, or you're going to be able to cut off your decimal points if you don't want it. It'll just divide it and then cut off the. Now, what I mean by cut off, I don't mean round. Typically, it just says if it's 5.9, it's 5. If it's 5.1, it's 5. It's not rounding. It just slices it right off. Usually. I'd have to verify that, but it depends on, of course, the language. But generally, you want to use like a function or something that'll do the rounding for you before you apply it to an integer. So there's a couple of symbols on here. Percent. In fact, this is one that I might actually take notes because I kind of knew the percent. Percent is used by a couple places, but percent returns the remainder of a number. And so let's see here. I'm going to add. This is my general. Where is? Oh, I have a learning, and can I put this in here? Nope, it's just gonna move it. Interesting. I should have probably done that. We're gonna put in here. We're gonna go Python. I'm just gonna take a couple of notes because it's always good to take notes. If there's something key that you want to remember, I recommend taking. I mean, obviously, if you're taking a course, right, like a college course of some kind, you take notes. But I don't think there's a lot for me here that I don't already know. But operators do tend to vary slightly. Like I mean, if this exists in other languages, I've never had to do it, or I didn't know it did. Divide two numbers, return int. Oops. And then percent, if you do it, will divide two numbers, return remainder, which is basically returns the decimal, right? So there you go. There's a couple of interesting ones for me anyway. And it may be, like I said, they are not common, but to me, I think this is I don't know if this is unique to Python or not. I've never had to do it because it's not necessarily common functions. Exponent, raise a number to a power. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, so if you know algebra, he's going into order of operations. Like things that are in parentheses are going to go first. So, but he is going in to second would be power-ups. So, I mean, everybody knows that in algebra, the parens go first, right? And then you've got exponents, which of course are going to go first as well because they're part of a number. And so that makes sense. And then it's probably just your usual, you got your various divisions. There are a lot, there's multiplication. Oh, weird. Why would multiplication go before division? That's not normal. I don't think that's right. Doesn't division go before multiplication in most things? And then plus and minus. And the plus and minus just go in the order of how they occurred. So if you have minus first, it'll do minus first. If you have, it's probably a good reason why I shouldn't have used a dash. It's going to do that. But there you go. There's the order of operations for arithmetic operators. And then he's got a big old algebra problem. Is what's going to happen here? I don't know. You can put it in later. I'm not going to do it. Worry about We learned input to get input from users. What is the data type of the results of input? All right, so we're going to do some code, a little bit of code. Let's go over to my, I don't want these. My lab, I don't need the my lab at all. Let's close that one. Go here, it's more my lab. And then there's my actual working space. We will continue onward from here. Do I not have any volume?
Something. So, hello. And then we can see that the things in return, or what inputs gives us as a input, is str or is a string, because that is the default data type input will return. And what about we enter an integer? Because we know hello is supposed to be a string. How about an integer?
He's just checking what input
So
returns.
just run this program again. For example, 1, 2, and 9, 129 as integer. However, it still print out a string. That is basically because, again, input will always return a string.
Input always returns string,
What is
unless you convert it using
maybe
a
the string can
int
be
or something.
convertible to a float, to a integer, but input will always return a string. So already to get an enter the age so that you can convert the float. Of course, you have to make sure
You can convert it using int and float like we were doing before.
if the user didn't follow
And if of course you try to convert it and it's not int, it's going to accept a string, so it's anything. If you put in a bad value, it's going to fail.
Okay, so multiple inputs.
You can get multiple inputs at a time. First name, last name equals input. What is your first name, last name? Separate by a comma. Huh. Okay, so with an input function, it has methods on it. One of the methods is split. Split function, you can add, you can tell it what the split variable is, comma, slash, dash, whatever. And when it returns off the input, it's going to put them as separate values. So one of his examples is, what is your first name and last name? You put them both in. It says separate by comma, which is odd. But then you can actually have the input dot split comma in quotes, because you have to tell it what the object is, and it'll return your first and last name with a comma in them.
Or you do not want to ask the user to see multiple nodes, module 2, lab 2, and upload it to your code.
Okay, so we're going to start assignment. I haven't actually had to update it or upload anything yet. I don't know what it takes to do that. We'll see if that. One of the first question is, which of the following operators is used for exponentiation in Python? And as we know, it's double asterisks. Now, of course, again, hopefully you're not taking this class while I'm doing it, and you're not seeing these questions. They'll come up when they come up. And they may not even be exactly the same, but I assume they're pretty close. So I'm not going to tell you all of them. I'm going to go through them. There's only 5. So weird that he does that. This, if his order of operations is correct, multiplication comes before division. So 12/3 times 4 is a totally different thing, because in algebra, that's 16. But apparently in Python, that's 1. So, yeah, that's kind of weird. Totally different numbers, assuming he isn't wrong. Oh, okay, so he messed with you. Okay, so look, I was right. Multiplication comes first. I got that one wrong. So on his lesson, he says these are the order of operations, right? So we got dash, multiplication, division, and various forms of division coming up here. So he kind of gave you wrong information. I'm, I'm, uh, I am distraught. So multiplication does come second after division, and I'm gonna send that to him because he misled. I thought it was weird because if you know algebra, you know division comes first, and so it would have been 1. See, it even says incorrect. The division is performed first, and I thought, well, that's really weird. Why does he show the multiplication first? Huh. Well, go to the next slide. Well, I mean, I passed because 1 out of 5 is 80%. But I will show you. He actually gets you on the wrong path. I think right about here.
Basically, he got 0 as the result. So the final answer.
So he's going right here. I will show you. In fact, this dude is wrong. I'm going to submit this. Okay. The order of operations, he says, parens, exponents, third, multiplication, division, division, division. Oh, this is remainder. This is like float integer, integer, or float division, int division, and the remainder of a division. But this says multiplication is first. It's ahead of division, which is wrong. So what he should have done was probably put third, all the divisions, and then fourth, multiplication followed by plus and minus. But he gave you the wrong information here. I don't know how to discuss this, tell him that he's wrong. They don't even care. I don't even know how old this is. Nope, that's wrong. This guy says they all have the same, but nope. They don't have the same precedence because multiplication on the question was second, division was first. Unless he's saying that if division was second, you would multiply that first. But I don't know. He doesn't actually ask you that question, so you can't verify. So if he's saying its order of operations is division, but in algebra, it doesn't matter where it is. Division is always before multiplication. So I'm commenting. Actually, I could test it. Let's go look. Let's go see how it does it. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna do something simple like so if it's true that it's order of operation, in other words, which comes first. So we got 3 times 12 divided by 4. Now, if this is based on algebra, this is 9. Okay. If this is based on order of appearance, this is going to be 9. That's not a good example. 3 times 12 is 36 divided by 4 is 9. That's not a one. How about 2? 2 times 12 divided by 4 is 3 times 2 is 6. It's not working. What did he do on the example of the question? Oh, okay, the example of the he gave on his thing was it was, I gotta go back and look. I'm gonna try again because I'm gonna go look at it. I don't already know what it is. We got this one, and then this one, and this one is this one. Okay, so this is the example he gives. All right, so the example on the test is 12 divided by 3 times 4. Now, order of operation comes out with the correct answer. We have 12 divided by 3 is 4, times 4 is 16. But if you do it according to the way he had it showing, where multiplication is first, we got 12 divided by 12. So now, if we reverse this, we got 3 times 4, or 3 times 12 divided by 4. 3 times 4 divided by 12. I'm sorry, did I do that wrong? No, 12 divided by, it's 12 divided by 3. So it's 4 times 12 divided by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 12 is 48, divided by 3 is 16. Interesting. Well, it's going to be hard to prove this. if the math always comes out. How does it come out different when you go the other way? 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 4 is 16. But if you go 4 times 12 is 48 divided by 3, that's 16 also. So maybe when it goes the other way, it doesn't matter. But it only matters if division, that's why you go in order. I don't know. I can't prove otherwise at the moment because I don't know another, what is another option? 4 times 9 is 36 divided by 3 is 12. 9 divided by 3 is 3 times 4 is 12. Wow. Interesting. So in algebra, the division always comes first, but if based on this logic, or based on the fact that I can't find a varying situation, if you do division first all the time, you're safe. If you do multiplication first, you're going to get into trouble. It sounds like you're safe if you always do division first here. So, because I'm not getting the same problem, so I don't know. mathematically wrong to say this. You should not. He should not even have this here. Okay, if he's going to put this here, it should have been like after, just to be safe. You put the multiplier. You put the multiplier last, because if you put it first, things will break. If you put it last, he's guaranteed to at least got people always doing the right way, because division's safe. Multiplication, not safe. Don't do that first. So, interesting. All right, let's move on. Okay. Oh, are you kidding me? um, Look, I'm going to show you this question. I got this one wrong. I don't even know how I got it wrong. I didn't get it wrong last time. Did I just not realize that it was this one here? So division with a single slash is a float. Float always puts a decimal in. I selected 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 4 is 16. I put 16. It says incorrect. It returns a float. So it's 16.0. Which, if you put that on anything, it's going to show up. I mean, who cares? It makes no difference if you add a float to something else. It's not gonna. It might come out, I guess, as a float because you're putting a decimal. But ultimately, it's a zero. It's not gonna have any effect on anything. I think it's still. That's just. I don't care. I mean, yes, I know it displays 16.0, but .0 is not different from just 16. It's the same value. It asks what is the result, not what will be displayed on your screen. It's the same value. All right, let's move on. And then they have a reading lab. It just say mark is completed. It just tells you how to download his version of the answer. I didn't. That's like, I don't care about that. And then unlock a quiz, which is weird because all this is the solution. So you hit start, and all he does is say, yes, I did my best, and blah, 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 and submit, and that's done. That's all it is. Now we're on to the last part of this piece, which is just more reading, which, oh, okay. So after the quiz, see, this is just why these class things are so redundant. After you have the arithmetic video, 8 minutes. You have the quiz, which is 5 questions, takes you like a minute. Of course, I've talked about it for 15. The next thing is a reading lab, which is just downloading the lab to work with. It's all it is. The read is, this is how you download this. Then there's a quiz, which is just, did you try your best? And then there's another reading lab. Here's the solutions, which is basically the same as the lab. I don't understand why that's even a thing either. But that's it. That's all it is. So you have one little video and one little quiz, and then 3 waste your time, go to the next item things. A lot of blah, 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 blah.
Well, hey, welcome back. So we are going to.
If you were doing this in a YouTube course,
we learned arithmetic
so far we've done about 20 minutes of exercise.
And now we can do something like fill, and that will be also called a Boolean expression, because when you do the comparison, you will get some results as true or false. For example, if you're going to compare x with y, you can compare x bigger y, which means x is greater than y in terms
So they're just telling you comparative
and you are
operators
going to get
now,
a result
like
either
we're going to do
is
equals
true
and greater
or
than, less
it is
than,
false.
that kind of stuff.
If x is less than y, or x is bigger or equal.
So
or
okay, so with some languages,
or no
it's
less than y.
it's asterisks equal. Python apparently is just using the classics, greater than, less than symbols, um, which is good. I think some, I think is it some will use both, asterisk equals and equals asterisk. Some will use that as well as the greater than and equal than sign. It just kind of depends on the language you're in. If you're checking equality, it is double equals in Python as well, which is pretty common. Exclamation point equals is not equals. You can also do I don't know. I think in Python you can say if you're checking a singular value, uh, exclamation point and then the variable or the value tells it not equal to. Boolean type and or not operator. Truth table for the and operator. False and false, false, false and true, false. It's just showing you. He's just showing you how OR works. Now, and and OR are, they're inclusive. So it's not a test of one side or the other. You're going to test both sides. If one side's false, one side's true, both sides are true, both sides are false. So it's not going to be like or. Like or says if either one of them is true, the first one's true, it's going to test the other side. So be careful when you're using or and as words. They are not short circuit operators, I believe. Usually they're not. Short circuit just means it's only going to run to the point where it succeeds. Okay, so now we're actually going to go do another actual work.
I'll see you later.
All right, so another quiz. All he's doing is just quizzing you on what those operators do. What will be the output of the following code? And then he's giving you code. Got to take my test. This is the last question. These are pretty straightforward, but just got to make sure you're paying attention, that you're not going to just jump over it. 100%. I'm a genius, man. I'm a genius. Now we just got to go through all of the weird little labs, download the labs. And then you got to go through and say, did you try your best? And yes, I tried my best. And then we're going to go to the next item. I don't know. A lot of stuff here. I don't even know why they count these. Why are they grading these? Then we're going to go get the solution for it because that's apparently a thing, which is exactly the same as we just did. And then we're going to go. This is like all these things. They're like 15. The reading lab, I don't know why. It's a 15 minutes. There's no reading in it. It's just the code. I don't understand how that's even a long thing. The code of what you just did.
Tiny project, and I'm going to unlock the solution so we can compare it, and you can use the discussion board to ask for help.
All right, we're on the last section of week 2 already.
I'll see you soon.
Module 2 assignment. What is this? This is different. Let's see. Download the attached file, unzip, upload, Google, and complete the small tasks in it. Oh, all right. Well, this one actually has stuff to do. Okay. All right. So I have to download this guy. And then I have to go over to my thing here. We'll go to, oops, go to File, Locate in Drive. I gotta expand my item here. Don't know what this is. To move a file, either cut the file with Control X or copy. I don't know. Did I try to move something? I don't remember. Did I click? I don't know. Can I drag and drop? Huh, I can. And this is what I gotta do. I gotta go do the small assignment inside of this. Okay, welcome to your second assignment. You're going to program a simple checkout system for a store. This store has interesting rule that every customer can only buy one product. The quantity of the product is not limited in one order. Ask the user to enter the price. All right, so this is actually going to be a little bit of coding. What do you know? We're actually doing some coding here. I mean, you got 6 steps, right? So, I mean, that's a little bit of coding. So we're going to say, ask the user to enter the price, divide unit price. It should be a float. Wait. Enter the price, divide unit of the product. Wait, what? Ask the user to enter the price. Enter the price, divide unit of the product. What? Why is my brain not seeing that question? Ask the user to enter the price. Okay, well, let's say, we could say, print enter the price divided by unit of the product? Unit of the product? You mean quantity of the product? Is that what he's trying to say? No, because the next one says ask the user to enter the quantity of the product. Ask the user to enter the price unit divided by unit of the, is he asking for a division here? I don't know what he's asking for. It's like, am I not getting this? What is my brain? Ask the user to enter the price divided by unit of the product. Unit of the product. Is that per unit? Is that supposed to be a per? Like it's not division, it's just per unit of the product? Okay, so input. Actually, I probably don't even need to do print. Let's just do this. input which is interesting because why do we have to tell the user what this is? What is the price of the product? And he's saying this should be a float, so that means I actually have to convert this to a float, I guess. I don't know why, but we do. And then ask the user to enter, you know what I should do? I should just go price equals. And then we're going to, oh, stop. Variables should not have the first letter capital. I don't know why. Ask the user to enter the quantity of the product. Quantity equals. That should be an integer, so we'll just say int. And say input number of items. Nope, number. All right, all right. Just say enter quantity ordered. There we go. And then we're going to go. We have a sales tax of 6.25%. Okay, calculate and display the total amount of this order. So we're going to say calculate and display. So we're going to say print price times quantity calculate and display, and we have a sales tax plus, so multiplication is going to go first, so we're good there, plus, and then we got to do actually I probably could just do price times quantity times what, 6.25. Actually, let's go ahead and be good. Let's just say, what was it? Sales tax equals 6.25, and then we'll just say tax. So order of operations says my multiplications are going to be fine, and then we're going to add that on to my price times quantity. So we should be fine, right? So that's it. Ask the user to enter the amount of the bills paid. For example, ask the user to enter the amount of bills paid. Amount of bills paid. For example, 60. Amount of bills paid? Bills, plural? Man, I don't know who wrote this, but I feel like they don't know how to write questions. Ask the user to enter the amount of bills paid. The amount of bill paid. So, yeah, this is terrible. I gotta fix his language, man. We'll just say, ask the user to enter the amount of bills paid. Calculate and display the change. Okay, so we're gonna say print input how much are you paying? And then we're gonna say, actually, you know what? I should probably set that up as, we'll just call it paid amount equals, and then we're going to say how much are you paying. Kind of a weird thing because no website's going to ask for this as an honor system. Oh yeah, I paid the whole amount. It's like, yeah, I paid $60, and he gives them it's like I didn't pay anything, but I just asked me. I said I paid the whole amount. All right, well then you won, or you got it. Of course, you're not taking the product with you either. Print. Let's see. You know what? It's because I should probably do this. Let's do this. Control X. We're going to have to do it this way. We're going to go here. Total equals. That's because if I want to print the total, I have to do it separately because my paid amount is this, and then I'm going to print paid. Let's see. Let's do something like your change is space comma, and oh, I guess when you do comma, it's going to put a space on its own. We'll just say total minus, no, wait, paid amount minus total. Let's see how we did. Assuming I didn't typo, which I do sometimes. So I got to say how much. Oh, it blew up. What did I do wrong? Trace back, most recent call last, blah, blah, blah. Price equals float. Input, what is the price of the product? Name float is not defined. Oh, wait, what? Oh, cap, I bet you that's lowercase. Yep. I am notorious for 5:17. I don't know. How many are you buying? I'm buying 4. Ooh, that feels like a lot. That doesn't, I don't think that's right. How much are you paying? Well, I'm not paying that much. I have a broken, I definitely have a break here. All right, so price times quantity. Oh, I know what the problem is. Let's go divided by 100. That's not going to work. Let's say stop. Let's try that again. Because percentage, this is a percentage, so it's 0.0625. So I have to fix my thing here. Let's try that again. It's 517, and I'm buying 4. There we go. That's better. How much are you paying? Well, I can't pay you 0.25 cents, but I will pay 22. I'll just give you 25 because I don't want to do the math. But I broke it. All right, what did I do wrong now? How much are you paying? Type error, trace back, type what I spell, what I do wrong here. Print total. Well, we already know it did the math on that. We did the print total, which was 21,975. Paid amount equals input, how much are you paying, which I did, and then print, your change is, I gotta change this to a float, or well, I'm gonna say float because he doesn't actually say do that one as a float. He doesn't say whether or not to do it as a float, but it's a float. So I got to convert this value so that I can subtract it. We'll say it's 517 still. Price has not increased. We bought 4. We're going to pay 25. And my change is $3.27, 28 cents. Woohoo! I know math. I don't know how to type, but I know math. Okay, you are going to program a super simple tip split system. Ask the user to enter the amount of the meal before tax. We would do the same thing. We're just going to go amount equals input. How much was the meal? And then we're going to go here. Oh, probably going to have to be a float because it's dollars. And then we're going to go here and we're going to say we have a sales tax. So we're going to say tax equals 6.25. And we tip at 18%. Ooh, okay. Tip equals 18. Now, you could do some basic math and simply just do something like 0.18 and 0.0625 if you want to do your basic math on your own. Or you could do something like divide by 100, you know, because it's going to be the same values. Then you don't have to do like I did, where I divided by 100 in the middle of my math. So it's your call. I mean, if you're doing it, it doesn't matter how you get there. The point is you're going to have that value. So now we're going to calculate and display. We're going to say total equals amount. Total amount plus amount times tax. And including tax and tips. Okay, so then we're also going to say plus plus amount times tax times tip. Right? Oh, wait, no. Amount, oh, it's amount plus tax. No. Amount. Oh, so, oh, that's a pain. Okay, so it's it's going to be amount. I'm just, you know, parentheses actually do help a lot with keeping things kind of clean, but we can't do sequential parentheses because parentheses always come first. So really what this is, what I should do is just figure out, let's do this one, tax amount equals amount times tax. That's the tax amount. And then I can just go in here and say amount plus tax amount, and I can take all this out. And we can even go far as to say tip amount equals tax. Oh, let's say not tax amount, it's tax amount is amount times tax. Tip amount is amount plus tax amount, which we'll put in parentheses. And that's not a plus. And then we're going to go over to here. We're going to say amount plus tax amount, what, divided by amount plus tax amount divided by, no, amount plus tax amount plus, no, times tip amount, times tip, right? That's the tip amount. It should be more like tip percent. Tip percent. I just, you know, make it look pretty. No, wait, what? Why did it put that in? I don't know what I just did there. Put it in. That must be a weird effect. Okay, so we got plus tip percent. No, it's not right. Time tip percent. Yeah, no, that's fine. So that's the tip amount. And then we're just going to go amount plus tax amount plus tip amount, right? Yes, tip amount. I think that's right. So we got our tax amount, which is amount times tax, and then we got the tip amount, which is the amount plus tax amount times the tip percent. And then we're going to go amount plus tax amount plus tip amount. We're good. I'm sure there's a way to make that one step shorter because I feel like I did amount plus tax amount twice. I could say total bill. I'm getting a lot of bits here. Total bill equals amount plus, dang it, plus tax amount. And then we're going to say total bill times tax amount. Oh gosh, this does not like me to, does not like, look at, wants to put in other stuff. I did not tell you to do that. Just put this value in there. It's like it's, okay, so tax, okay, so then we can just say, is total bill plus tip amount. Yay! Now we have to, what? Calculate and display the total amount due, tax and tips. So we're going to say print your total is, and then we're going to say comma total. And then it says what? Calculate and display the amount each person should pay. Well, how many people are there? Does it say? Ask the user to enter the total amount of meal. Ask the user to enter the number of people to split the tip. I probably should have done that. Skipping over stuff, man. How many, oops, tippers equals input, we'll just say int, input, how many will be contributing, how many will be contributing to tip. And we're going to say print each person tips. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to say each person tips total divided by tippers. Does that work? No, I got to do a no division. Single line is single line is float, so we're good. How much was the meal? Well, nowadays it's probably see, we got 3 people. We probably got about $85 because that's the way the world rolls nowadays. So we got 3 people, and plus a couple kids, but they're not going to help with the tip. Your total is $106 and 56. That don't sound right. Oh, well, I guess it could be. Because you're going to have, wow, no, that's a big tip. That's a huge tax percent, right? That's not right. Oh, no, the total is with tip, though. Each person tips. No, that's not right either. I did the wrong thing. Each person tips. Now it says calculate and display the amount each person should pay. Oh, okay. So if they're all just splitting, this isn't really splitting the tip. This is splitting the bill, right, with tip. So it's actually, this is correct. Each person, but this is pays. Because it's not asking how much. Calculate and display the total amount due. We have sales tax. Ask the entity number of people to split. So yeah, it's not asking how much each person's tip is. So really all this is calculating the total tip and dividing the bill. That's all it is. So now he hasn't gotten around to doing a round, but ideally you would not show all these numbers. It should just be 35.52 each, or knowing most restaurants, that would be 35.53 each. But yeah. There you go. Next, compound interest. Ask the user to amount savings right now. Let's see. Input. How? Oh my gosh. How much money do you have in savings for me to embezzle? Calculate. Let's see. Savings amount equals, and we're going to put float here because It probably is a floaty number. Ask the user to enter the number of years. It should be an integer. How long? Years equals int input. How many years will you not touch the money? Ask the user to enter the interest rate. Interest rate equals float. It should be a float number, and 0.03 represents 3%. Oh. So basically he wants you to calculate it as a decimal point. So divide by 100. So input, what is the interest rate? And we're going to go here and we're going to say divide by 100. And then we're going to say calculate and display the total amount after 3 years. So if it's compound interest, so this is very basic. You know, compound interest is actually calculated in months, not years. Usually it's compounding monthly. Some compound annually, but generally it's monthly, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how compound interest works. However, we're doing annually. That's why it says a very simple one. So we got our savings amount. Let's see. Let's just say print after 3. Wait. Oh, after years. Oops. Comma years. You will have, and then we're going to go in here and we're going to say, I probably don't need to put it in here, but I am. So savings, let's see, how is it? What's the best way to do this? I mean, short of doing a triple, I mean, I don't want to do this on an annual basis. We need to figure out a way, because what if they put 10 in? I can't put 10 copies in. So it's got to be something that's iterative. Oh, right? Because it's, how does that work? I don't remember him giving you a way to do this. I mean, obviously there's a way to do this, but the problem is compound interest is not interest over 3 years. It's interest over a year, followed by another year, followed by another year. So that's not compound interest, that's just interest. Ask the user to enter the amount savings right now. Ask the user to enter the number of years. Ask the user to enter the interest rate, which should be annual. Yeah, there should be a loop here. I don't know. I'm curious how he's going to have... I'm curious how the answer is going to be here. If he's actually expecting us to solve for this little bit more complex situation, because we have to do like a loop. You have to go through a number of times for the years. You calculate the amount. And I don't know Python's loop structure. I mean, I know you can do a while or a for next or something like that using other languages, but I don't know Python's. Python has one. That's one I'd have to do. This is not compound interest. If he just wants it to be interest over 3 years, and even then it's probably not going to be right because interest is just not usually done that way. So I'm probably overcomplicating it. I feel like I'm overcomplicating it. I don't think he wants us to do this correctly. Correctly would say, do this 1 year at a time, and then you add, so whatever your interest is, you add it to the first year, and then you multiply interest on that, and then you, oh, that's compounding. This is not compound interest. I don't like this question. It's throwing me off. But I think he's just doing a basic interest calculator, which is over that period of time, you're going to make this much money, which is wrong then because it always does compound interest. Because you're going to get the interest. Unless there's a way. What's the easiest way to do? Is there a way to do compound interest? Because the number of years, you got your amount. It's not like you make the interest and then you get that amount 3 times and then they just add it on. So that's not right. And so over the number of years, you're going to make interest. And exponents wouldn't work. I'm actually curious how he solves this one. I don't know the answer. Because calculate and display the total amount of interest. And if it's savings amount, because the first year's interest is just savings amount times the interest rate. And then you got to do 3 times savings amount plus savings amount times interest rate. And then the interest rate is going to be that amount times interest rate and that amount times interest rate. But you got to do it for however many years they put it in. So you got to have an iterative multiplier to get all the interest. I don't know. I don't know the answer, man. I mean, if it's very basic, it's just your savings amount each year, but I'm going to put it in as basic. I don't know the trick to creating an iterative amount. And I'm sure it's something simple. It's just a straightforward math. I must have missed it in the video because I was skipping too much. But ultimately, I'm just going to do the interest rate for each year, which is savings amount. We'll say first year interest equals savings amount times interest rate. And then we're going to say, oh, this is so bad. I don't like it. I know this is just not right, but I'm going to see what he does. He probably's doing something I don't know. I'm going to have to see what the logic is that he's going with. But it's interest rate. We're going to say first year interest. All right. Interest. I hate it. Interest over years. I don't like it. It's not right. I'm doing this wrong. I'm telling you. This is not the right way to do this, and therefore it bothers me. First year interest times years. And then we're going to go ahead. We're just going to go in here, and we're going to go to int. It's a savings amount. This is so wrong. Don't copy this. This is wrong. Int over years. And if it is right, I'm going to look at his lab, but we will do that afterwards. Savings amount equals int over years. Okay, so this is just the interest on the savings amount each year added on to savings amount. It's not right, but there's got to be an iterative, because normally what it would be is savings amount times first year interest, savings amount, first year interest plus savings amount, and then again after each year you do the same thing, interest rate on top of that, interest rate on top of that, and you keep adding that on, and it becomes, it's compounding. This is not what it's doing. I'm doing this wrong. We'll say I don't know, 100. How many years will you not touch the money? We'll say, well, we said 3. I was thinking in my head 3, but what is the interest rate? We'll say you're getting a pretty mediocre 2.3%. After 3 years, you'll have $690. Is that right? No, that's not right. You are not going to have that much money. So, what did I do wrong? I mean, even based on my math, that's not right. After this many years, you'll have savings amount. Oh, what did I do? It's supposed to be plus, not times. Nope. And we'll do math, basic math again. How many years? We'll say 3 again. We'll say, what is the interest rate? 2.3%. So we'll have 100. We will make $106.09 based on this terrible version of compound math, compound interest. Ultimately, it wouldn't be that much more. I mean, it'd probably be something like 109, but it's something. Okay, so we're done with this. Okay, so we did that. Download the attached file, unzip and upload it to Google Colab, and complete the small tasks. We're done. He does have a PDF here. If you're having difficulties downloading or unzipping the file, please use the PDF instead. Oh, no, that's not it. Let's go on to the next thing. Mark complete. We're going to go on here. Unlock Module 2 solutions. I'm going to go look at the solutions because I am genuinely curious if how he did compound interest on this, because he's got some kind of a loop in here. If it's correctly done, he's got some kind of a loop in here, and I want to see it. Because it's got to iterate through the number of years of interest, and that's not what we're doing here. We're going to download this. We're going to go over here. We are going to extract all of it. Say extract. And we're going to go over here. So I am, again, I'm showing you a fair bit of what I'm doing. You get a feeling of what these online Coursera courses are. They're not a YouTube video. They are a bunch of videos, but they're very small. Like this entire section is 2 videos. This entire one spot is 2 videos and a bunch of other junk. A little hands-on-y, a little testing. Is this better? Maybe, but you're not getting a whole app. You're not getting a lot of work in play. Sometimes the YouTube videos are more thorough, I think. That's just my feeling anyway. Go to locate drive. We're going to go here. Open this. Let's go see. Oh, come on. Stop that. I don't know if it changed or what, because I feel like I've already... All right, so I'm going to take this off screen for a minute, because I'm only going to show you the one item. Just because, let's see, I'm going to look, it's not a matter of, he's got his thing, let's see what he did. Years, total. Oh, he's exponentialing it. Oh, I didn't think about that. I don't know why I didn't think about that. It's because you're doing the same percentage. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so basically what he's doing is they're exponentialing the percentage. So if it's 6%, you exponential the percentage by the number of years. So it's going to be like 6% times 6% times 6% times 6%. And it's just the number you're getting. It's just changing the percentage. So you're getting a bigger and bigger and bigger number, but it's 1. So it's whatever it's 1 point your percentage and times years. And I didn't even think about that. That's a good approach. And so that does get you the number of years. And then you multiply, and then since you have the multiplied years, then it's time saving. So it's an interesting approach. I wouldn't have thought of doing that. I don't know why. I mean, I've never calculated compound interest that way, but it is very simple. I will show you what I what he's doing, and I will do it on my own code here, just because it's probably a good example. And I think basic math, huh? What do you know? Basic math. Let's go back. So we're going to mark as completed this item. I still want to go back and look. And then we have another assignment. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, we're on start reflection. Oh, this is a reflection thing again. And then we're a congratulations video. So, nope. Reflection is just, how do you feel? How are things going? But I want to go back to this assignment quick. Which I have, which is right here. Okay, so really all he did, oh, wait, wrong one. Here's my assignment. This is the appropriate way to do it. I'll show you. So we got first year. So his thing is savings years rate, which I did. I have savings years rate. But then this number is actually, yes, total amount equals savings amount times 1 plus interest rate, and then he's doing an exponential years. So this probably, that's not going to be much different. We'll put in the same numbers. It's probably going to be something closer to 110 is my thought. Well, if you get 2.3% a year off of the original, so it's 6. So you're really just getting the interest off of whatever the end result is here. So let's see what happens. We're going to do the same numbers just so that we can compare that math to my math. So got 100. And then we're doing the same thing, 3 years. And we're at 2.3. After 3 years, you will have, oops, but I did not actually put in this value. Oh, wait. Savings amount times blah. Oh, but we're using the 1. So he's using the 1 to go up and over. So it's actually adding it on. All right, so we'll say, how much money do you have in savings for me to embezzle? So we have $100. We're going to do 3 years and 2.3. Oh, it didn't even go up that much. It went up like, what, not even a full penny? Or not even a full dollar? It went from 106 something to 107 something. So yeah, it's slow growing when you do it one a year. Now really, what this should be is years times 12. This is how it should be. I bet you it's going to be a much bigger number. I'm going to do it. Because most compound interest is monthly compiled, I think. 100. How many years? 3. And what is the interest rate? 2.3. So if for 3 years you leave $100 in, you should, oh wait, is that right? Years. Really? After 3 years, $100 would become $226? Okay, so I did something wrong. Because it is supposed to compound monthly. I'm pretty sure. But you're only going to get like, oh no, 2.3%. Maybe it is compounded monthly, but it's compounded monthly. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't do it monthly. I thought compound interest rate, there's no way you'd have $226 after a year. And that's massive. That's 100% annual percentage rate. So, but they must, I'm pretty sure they calculate some amount of your interest. I think what it is you get an annual percentage rate calculation, but you only get like 1 month of it in the first month. right? So if you would get $6, you wouldn't get $6 each month. You'd get 50 cents a month. And it would calculate more. It would end up being more than the annual percentage rate, but you're only getting it based on a year's calculation. So a month would be a little bit at a time. You get a little interest each month, but not all of it. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. But hey, it's done. Let's move on. Now we're just doing self-reflection, which is just me typing stuff in. Python variables to your neighbor. If you would introduce Python variables to your neighbor, what 3 points you will mention? Oh, God, tell you, man, the English driving me nuts. What else? I'm just thinking, they have to be the first letter must be lowercase. They are dynamic. They can change. Their data type can change. What else? What's another item that it's not really a quiz though. This is like self-reflection. What is the assumption of plus operator to be sum, x plus y equals sum. Wow. Have you thought about how the relational operators work for non-numerical values, such as value is greater than world? No, I have not. Now we're doing branching. I guess that's next. It just says, are you ready for next module? That's the last question. Yes. So, okay, we had a little bit more meat in there. Obviously, we did a little bit more. I still don't think this is really complex. I mean, yeah, we're doing a little bit of math here and trying to figure out how to do math. But that's really not Python, right? I mean, if you knew how to do compound interest um, prior to this, if you had done that formula before, you would just need to know the variables and values or the operators to get it right. And I apparently didn't know that, at least not what he's got there. Now we're on to this piece, and he's just doing a little 1 minute and 6 second. Good job.
We are going to have some fun. Okay, see you soon.
Yeah, we're all done. Okay, so that's the end of that, and we're on to the next thing. Now we're on week 3 out of 4. It's 11:56. I'm going to try to get a little bit more.
Welcome back to our course, Python Fundamentals. We're going to learn module 3, which is branching. So far, we have learned what programming languages are, and we learned the reason why we pick Python as the programming language. And we also learned how to use print and input to do some simple
He's reviewing last
and input to get
bit here
with the user and to show our result. And also, we learned the most important variables and data types and also operations so that we can actually do computation in our numbers and values and data. And then for the following 2 modules, module 3 and module 4, we are going to learn flow control. Because so far we only know a very simple flow, which is sequential. We are going to learn 2 different types of control that can help us branching, that is based on certain condition. We can go different direction. The other one is repetition, so that if we have to do something over and over, we don't really have to write the code line by line, repeat the same code again and again. So for the repetition, we can save the similar tasks together and just repeat the same thing, so we don't have to write the same code. And in terms of the flow control, it is a very important part of a program because not every time we only need the sequential order of executing our statements, because sequential is quite simple, but we cannot control how it will be when something happens. And what we have been doing so far, we write some assignment for the variables, but we don't know how to have some branching.
So we're doing sequential structure. He's going to start doing flow control where we might process things in a different form. So we're going to do branching, which I think is a little bit different. It's like, decision structures. So we got decision and we got looping. So obviously a branch is if this, do this, if this, then that. So you're branching off. And then looping is just like while this to do this bit. It's not really sequential anymore, right? Because it's going to go down and back up and down and back up, down and back up. It's sequential only in that it's going like this. Branching and if statements. This is like basic programming 101. If you know what a decision structure is, if you know what a loop structure is, this is too basic. Now, for me, it's just like figuring out how he does them.
So the intention indicated only when the condition is or.
Because if statements and other decision structures are often different in each language.
And that is one thing we want to pursue to do something else. Oh, okay. So let's see how we can do that in Python.
Hey, we can go to our thing.
So we just learned that in order to get the absolute value, we need to do something depends on what x actually is. So let's first get the x from the user. So let's say x equal to float. Please enter a number. So we have been using the input to get the input from the user, and we learned how to convert that from a string to a float. And we still assume our user will be following our instructions and will not mess up our program. So x will be a
We're
float
still
number,
assuming that they're going to
and
type in a number and
x
not a
can
text.
be negative, which we will have to flip the sign. X may be positive, then we just need to return the x. X may be 0, and again we just need to x as it is. Okay, so now we need to have the if statement. If x is less than 0, which means x is a negative number, we are going to assign x
Interesting. Okay.
a flip sign of the same value, but from negative to positive, which is minus x, or negative.
Isn't there like a abs function?
Will be a positive ones. And we are going to print x out. Or we can print absolute value of x is x. Okay, so let's run this program to see how.
Oh, what I do? Oh, if x equals
So let's enter
x
the
is less
number.
than 0,
First try with 0.
x equals negative
It
x,
will be 0, which is right. And let's try
print
again.
absolute value of x
Enter
is
number,
x.
say 3.4. It is still 3.4.
What do I do? If x, oh, is it capital? Nope. If x is less than 0, did I type in wrong case? No, if x is if x is less than 0, if x, what am I doing wrong? If x is less than 0, I'm just looking at his code, it looks exactly the same as mine. X equals negative x, and then we got print absolute value. Something's weird here. I must have something out of whack here. I don't know what. Is his if different from my if? His if is lowercase too. X, little baby x, equals float. If x is less than 0, it's not like complaining that I'm indented, is it? That'd be really lame. Oh my gosh, it was complaining that I'm indented. What? That can't possibly be. Oh my gosh, that is the worst. Why would it be? I hope that's just the Google Colabs thing, because if that's truly a problem, I mean, you're getting a bug because you did not put the if all the way to the left. Oh, that is so bad. By the way, I'm curious. Isn't there an absolute value function? Like, let's say abs. And then I'm going to try something. Okay, so maybe not. I mean, in C# there's an abs function, which basically turns your number into an absolute value. And this doesn't like whatever I'm doing here, so. Oh, look at that. It's all the way. Wow, there's some spacing issues with this. I don't know what's going on. -7. Ha! Look at that. I don't even have to. I could just use the abs function, which, by the way, he is not talking about. He'll probably tell you. Let's go see. He probably says, oh, by the way, you could do this with an abs function, but we did an if statement. So this was a test of the if statement.
Okay, now let's try some negative absolute value is 0.1. So this is an example that we only execute this x equal to minus x part, or to flip the sign part, only when
But of
x
course, this
is in
question is more about
otherwise we'll
doing
do
the if statement. If x is less than 0.
we are
And so for
sure
me, the
that
Python learning
the
point for
zero.
me was the fact that there's a colon here. That is different. I have not seen that before.
Okay, so this is the example how to do the absolute value of x using the very simple if statement. Okay, so module 3, lab 1.
Oh, really?
Time
Oh my
and
gosh,
analysis
that's it?
style.
That's the
You can
whole
download
section
this
is that.
file into your collab,
Oh
where
god.
you can
Lab. Try your best. I'm gonna do this. Oh, I'm good. This is just so slow. So little tiddly biddly stuff, man. I'd be like, this is, I struggle with this kind of thing. I don't like constantly, I don't know. It just feels so slow. Glad I'm not doing this in a college course. Oh, if I had to sit through hours and days and weeks of this course doing one tiny little tidbit of exercise, over the course of a week, oh my gosh, my head would explode. I'd be like, I'm out of here, man. That's not going to work. Oh, how does anybody do this? If that's really what this is this is really a college level course, I'm like, ow. I mean, how could you not get this done? I mean, I know. I mean, okay, so it's not really 4 weeks because these classes are probably, I would think all of this is one day. All of the 4 weeks is a 1 day course. If you go in for an 8-hour class, you're done with this whole 8-hour course, a whole 4-week course in a day. They just broke it up into uber goober tiny little micro pieces. And I like that I've seen that with the Net Ninja, he does that, but it's all coding. So every micro piece is a piece of coding, and you're putting stuff into play. And yeah, that's so much better. All right, so this is the, I don't know, this is the lab. Okay. You should ask the user to enter an integer. All right. Get value. All right, some value. Some int equals, please input, please enter an integer. Positive or negative. Hint, to test if number is even, we need to use %2 and check the remainder is 0 or not. If it is 0, then the number is even. Oh, that's because it's a remainder, right? So we're going to say is even. I think this would this would be a boolean. So you say equals some int percent 2 dang it, what is it, percent 2 0, right? Some int %2 equals 0. And then you say, what are we trying to? And to test it, we need, if it is 0, then the number is even. So So if is even, print you entered, and how about this? You entered, and can you do inline? Is that allowed? I don't know what inline if statements look like. They have. I laugh because I'm going off the book, right? So I'm trying to figure out, is there an inline version of Python? There is, I'm sure. You entered an, because I would think if there's an inline version of Python, it'd be something along the lines of is even, and then we would say even, is even, comma, odd. I have no idea if this is valid, folks. I'm making things up right now because I don't know what Python does. I'm just seeing how close it is to languages I've worked in before. So, and we'll just type in number. It'll probably just compile and blow up. I have a feeling this is an invalid thing here. It's compiling. Why did it take so long to compile such a small, tiny bit of code? Yeah, it doesn't like it. Now, sometimes it's different things. Like I think I've also seen it be question mark. Let's see if that's a thing. No. What else could it be? Is even. Sometimes it's even a function, or it has to be like if. I know VB, it's if is even. What would be another? Sometimes it's double. I've seen it be actually double exclamation points. Nope, still don't like that one either. Okay. I don't know. It's invalid syntax. So whatever the immediate if statement is, if there is one, I don't know what it is. So we're gonna have to go over here. So if is even, let's say even odd. Even odd equals even. Else even odd equals odd. I don't even think, is he telling me to print this? He does say, if it is an even number, print it is even. Otherwise, print nothing. Oh, man. I don't even know if else is. So if even, we're going to do this. I don't know what the enclosure is, though, for an if statement, right? It says print nothing. So we're going to say even odd. But I don't know what the, I wonder if that's because it's inside, because I indented. Is it using indents as the logic? Let's see. 7. No, 7 should print nothing. Nope, it'll blow up instead. Oh, because my value came back as a string. Never mind. I got to put this in as an int. Nothing came back. Okay, so that's what it's supposed to be. Nothing. So the indentation in Python matters. Interesting. So if it's indented, that's why the indent matters. That's interesting. Huh. Okay, I got to remember that. Python indents matter. Python indents matter. I.e., if statement must be on in left column with all sublines indented to indicate they are part of the if. Okay, so if is even that. So if I were to do this and push this back a line, and I did 7, it'll probably print something. It'll just say, I don't know what it'll do, to be honest, but it'll print something. It blew up because it doesn't know what to do, because I didn't actually put a value in. Name, even odd, is not defined because it's not in there. So really what this should be is like an else statement where I go even odd equals odd, but okay. So yeah, it's not gonna, so that's my big learn for this step too. There's a Python thing I didn't know. It's got an indent. It uses indents as part of its logic. So I was wondering, because usually like if statements in a lot of languages are either curly brackets or they're parentheses, or sometimes the calculation part of it has its own parentheses. Like I have is even here, and so yeah, that's interesting. And this is also new. That's a colon thing. That's a Python separator, a Python bit. So I'm going to go down here. If statement uses a colon to separate condition, i.e. if some condition colon. I don't know how to best to separate that, but we're going to do this. And then indented condition response. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Oh, wow. I mean, I guess I can run this. It should work fine now. Oh, I should probably make it print my, let's do an even number. 8. You enter an even number, yeah. Okay, so similar to task above, however, this time you only print it is odd when the number entered is odd. Oh, come on. I'm just going to copy this. We're going to go here, and we're going to say not. I'm going to try this. I don't know if that works. Another thing I'm trying, even odd, odd. Oh, it doesn't like the bang. Boo. You entered an odd number. Did I? 7, yeah. There you go. That's that. Okay, next one. You should ask the user to enter an integer. If it is divisible by 6, print it can be divisible by 6. Okay, there's going to be another one of these. Except we're going to go here. 6. We're going to say divisible by 6. Can you put a number in a variable name? I think you can. Why not? All right, let's not. Let's just say 6. Please enter an integer. If divisible by 6, we don't even have to do this. I mean, really, I don't even need a variable, because if it is divisible by 6, print it is divisible. It can be divided by your number is divisible by 6. Size 11. Nothing happens. But 12, your number is divisible by 6. Check if an input is stop. Ask the user to enter some words, and only when the user entered stop, you print by. Okay. So ask the user to enter some words, and only when the user entered stop, you print by. How do we, again, that's going to be an iterative, right? So we're going to do a while. He hasn't talked about while. Are these like supposed to be like let's talk about potential things? Because he didn't go over any of this. This is like he's getting into things that aren't actually there. So ask the user to enter some words, and only when the user entered stop, you print by. So are we going to keep asking him to enter words? Or sometimes you can look at on change events, and so as he's typing into one box, it'll ask to enter some words. Only when the user enters stop, you print by. Because he didn't go over, he just did an if. So we got to do a while. And he hasn't done while. And I don't know what Python's while is. I could guess at while. But some of them, like I said, they don't all, let's just say, please enter any word. Stop to quit. Quit? Quite. We don't need an int. We say while. Did it complain about that? No. While. Oh. Some word. While some word what did he use? He used exclamation point, right? Not equal to stop. I should probably say capitals because this is going to be case sensitive, I'm sure. Now we're going to go delete, we're going to go in, and we're going to say some word input. Please enter another word. Stop to quit. And then we're going to go here, and then we're going to go here back, and then we're going to say print. What do you say? By? Now let's see if I did anything. Probably not what he wanted, but that's what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I forgot. You got to do this thing. I mean, if it's the same, it's probably the same for while as it is for if. So yeah, that makes sense. say apple, orange, and I've had enough. Woohoo! I did it. There we go. I think that's what he wanted. But mind you, this particular thing did not do while. So if he's supposed to be using an if statement, I'm doing it different. I did it wrong. So we'll look. I'm going to look at what his lab solution is in a minute. But we'll go see. I think this is better than an if statement, but he hasn't really talked about while. Task password setup. Ask the user to enter a new password. Ask the user to enter the password again. If the second input matches the first one, print you're all set. Okay, so password equals input a, please enter a password. Password. Check password equals input, please enter password again to verify, to confirm. If password equals check password, oops, nope, equals is double equals. Print you are all set. And it doesn't say that it validates those, so we should probably have something like if password is not equal, you can't type, man, to check password, print they don't match, try again. And that's it. All right, so we're going to say apple, orange. They don't match. Try again. Oh, okay, let's try it again. Apple, apple. We're all set. All done. Well, maybe we're all done. Yeah, we're all done. Okay, mark is completed. I mean, this doesn't like, there's no way to check it in or anything. I mean, there's not a check in or hand it off or anything, so whatever. Go to next item. Now we have to unlock the answers, which is just click and then this extra box for some bizarre reason, which is a quiz. We're going to go to next item. Da, 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 da. Close that. Unlock the solution because I'm curious what he did. And we're going to go in here and we're going to delete this one. And we're going to extract this one. Go back to here, go to File, locate in Drive. Drag and drop this guy over here. Oh, really? Oh, really? Fine, I don't care. Upload it. Oh, this replaced mine. It's alright, whatever. Oh wait, no, oh, oops, that replaced mine. My bad. I screwed that up. I don't know what I just did, but this is the thing I wanted. I don't know how I did that. Oh well. I overwrote my answer, but that's okay. I know what my answer was. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to try this again. No, it is. His solution file is called no, it's supposed to be my lab 1 solution. But this isn't my lab 1. This is okay. That's my lab 1. That's not my lab 1 solution. I don't know. What am I doing wrong here? There it is, my lab 1 solution. I don't know what the heck. Did I do that backwards? It's like it's coming in different order. All right, well, still overwrote my thing, so it's not going to matter. But let's go see what he did. I want to see if it's different from mine. My lab 1 solution. Print float. Oh, that's the last one. Dang gummit. Okay. Let's try this again. It didn't upload right for some reason. Or it's, oh, if it's failing, the solution is invalid if for whatever reason. Notebook load. The file has been corrupted. So, okie dokie. Apparently. Oh, maybe. Well, maybe I put it up. Which one of these has the right number? So these two are gone. This one should have solution in it. We will try this again. We will extract all. I don't know, man. I'm getting all kinds of weird results. Close that. I'll try again to put this in here. And then we're going to try to open this again. There we go. All right, so let's go see what he did. Word input. Print by. Okay, so his is just, I did a while. They just let him put words in until he hit stop. He did an if, which was very basic. I thought he meant like he could enter words over and over and over and over again. So that's what I did. That's not what they wanted. He just wanted is a enter word. If it's not word, he won't print by and nothing else happens. So enter word, then nothing. It's not like you'd have to keep hitting play to do it his way. So he didn't do it with a loop. He just didn't bother. As far as this goes, he did the same thing. Oh, I put it in a variable. He just used the if statement, which is fine. I mean, it's the same thing. Print and divide, and that's the basic, same thing. Please enter an integer. He didn't do, oh, this is not equal. And it's all the same. Password, if password equals, yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, so we did the same thing, except I made mine a while. And he did not, which is probably fine. I'm sure his way is probably what he intended, obviously. All right, so we've done it all. There's what's left. We got another branching and another nested branching.
You enjoyed the very tiny.
So these are very minimalistic things, but we are cruising through it. I am learning a little bit. At least I learned the syntax for how these structures work, which is, you know, key element for Python for me anyway. I know of these structures already, so for me it's again picking up those little tidbits that are going to make it so that when I open up Python, I'm not like, how do I do an if statement, because I don't know. But honestly, I could program this with Google and figure everything else out right away. I mean, I go, well, how do I do an if statement in Python? Oh, this is how I go do an if statement. If I, how do I do a while, or I would, that's basic syntax stuff. And this other stuff that this class is doing is very grassroots. I'm saying if you are a non-programmer, you know nothing about programming, you've never programmed in any major language at all, this is probably good for you because you're going to learn how all that stuff works. If you're not, this is not the place to start. If you know programming and you want to learn Python, I would recommend doing an intermediate class or something even advanced. If you're good at programming, maybe doing an advanced, because then hopefully he's going to have structures and stuff in there that will be useful to you. In all honesty, I'm leaning towards right now just doing YouTube classes. This class is, these kind of classes are very slow, a lot of lecturing, a lot of PowerPoints, and very little hands-on. And so if you're a hands-on-y kind of person, these aren't that great. You see I'm doing a little bit of stuff here and there, and I get to play with a little bit, but you're not creating anything, you're just writing stuff. But again, this is basic, so maybe that's the problem.
Else clause.
So there is an else, if else. It's the same thing. So if I wanted something to happen at the end of these, I would just put an else statement.
Part for the statement still need the consistent indentation because
he does mention the indentation, and he says still, so that means he mentioned it before, but I skipped over it. So if you want else has to be in line with if, whatever you're doing there, so that your stuff that goes in the middle knows that it belongs to the if and not just sitting out there randomly.
If integer can be even or odd number, right? So okay, so let's say we get an integer from the user and it is positive, and the only thing 0. That's it. Let's execute our program.
So he's doing the even odd thing that we did before, but he wasn't doing anything in response to the odd. Else with a colon tells it to go ahead and put the odd. So we could have replied to the odd.
Can only be divisible by 1 or itself, no other integers. For example, 4 is not a prime because 4 can be divisible by 1, by 2, by 4. But another one was to check an integer within 10, because we haven't learned repetition yet, so we just make it simple and we hard code any prime number within 10, which is quite simple, and we are going to check whether or not the integer is prime or not. Let's do that in our collab.
It's going to do it for a prime number check.
So
off of numbers under 10.
I'm going to copy this line here to save some time. So we are going to get integer from the user, and then we are going to check whether or not this integer is a prime. So we may have to specify enter a positive integer within 10 because that is the maximum number we can have right here. So if x equal to, we know 1 is prime, right? And we learned in logical operation, we can have multiple conditions compound together as a complex condition. So for here, let's just type in the prime in 10, what they are. They actually can be 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. I think that's it, right? Okay, so we actually have 5 cases. They are prime, and if they are not these 5 cases, they are not prime, basically. So for x, the any of these 5 number, we're going to print out, yes, x is a prime number. If x is neither of these 5 number, then x will not be prime. So in here, in the if statements, in the condition, we have
It's long-winded. Just type, just say. He's talked for 10 minutes about if it's prime, it's in here. You can have multiple conditions. He goes on and on and on. It's like, just type it out, man. Just want to see it.
X is 1 or x is 2. 2.
Okay, so he's just doing a complex
is
or statement is all he's doing. I thought he was going to do something cool like check in an array or brackets or
is 7.
I still think that's not right.
Now going to print x.
Like, can you do X in?
Again, this is our plan A. We have to do plan B as well. So we print out else print x is not prime.
All right.
So please enter a positive integer within 10.
So he's doing a little
if
math on
the
that.
condition is true, and we skip it. If this
Are we going to do that now? Are we going to go write that ourselves? Is that the whole thing, just to go write a prime statement?
Very tiny
Oh,
you can
God.
do there. And you can
Oh.
ask questions on the
Oh,
discussion
this is
board.
so boring.
And I'll see you
I'm struggling with this low-level stuff. I'm having trouble staying motivated, folks. I got to get through this. I'm going to get through this week 4. There's only, I'm on the end. I've only got 2 parts left of this week 3. I bet you this is going to be the same old nonsense. Extract all. Yeah, I'll replace it, whatever. Oh, I don't want that. All right, so let's just get rid of all this because I cannot tell what the heck it is downloading because it puts them in the wrong. It puts them in a different order. I think that's what's throwing me off. It's like when it comes in, it's at the end, but when I come back to the form, it's at the beginning. So I think that's what's messing me up. There it is. I think I may have to take a break and finish this tomorrow. Just because I'm going nuts. And this afternoon is so booked for me. I was going to go ahead and do my GraphQL a little bit this morning. But as you can see, I got started a little late. And now I'm taking a little longer than I wanted to. M3 Lab 2. If the temperature, wow, that's not even how you spell temperature. Man, there's so many typos in this thing. Is within 60 to 80, print perfect. Otherwise, print not that good. Let's see. Okay. Temp equals float print or input. Please enter the temperature. And we're going to go here and we're going to say if temp between, I bet you there's not a, I mean there probably is a between, I don't know what it is. So let's just say if temp, he's doing the multi equals, he didn't talk about between, I'm sure it's on there. There's some form of between. But if temp is greater than, or let's just say equal to or greater than 60, and temp is less than or equal to 80, then we'll say perfect. Else, not that good. Print. Too many sessions? What do you mean too many sessions? I've only got. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Do I have 2 sessions? So what, I gotta close one of these? How do I have too many sessions? I only have one session open, or 2 sessions. Is 2 sessions too many? Guess so. How does it, what do you mean manage sessions? I don't even know what that one is. Can I have that many? Okay, I don't know what one I thought I had open, but oh, it's probably backwards. How do you do that wrong? Greater than or equal. Oh, greater than or equal. Man, I keep missing the equal sign. Is that not right? Because greater than or equal to 60 and temp, oh, and temp, no, is. Is not a thing. What the heck? What is the temperature, by the way? My thing says it's 74, at least in the backyard. Wow. Didn't do anything. If temp is greater than or equal to 60 and temp is less than or equal to 80, isn't 74 in the middle of that? Oh. Print. It's not gonna just type stuff out, man. You gotta actually tell it to type it out. Let's try it again. Perfect. If I lied and said it was 54, yep, it's not that impressed. Okay, let's go on to the next one. You should ask the user, are you happy now? State of being equals input are you happy? Wow. I'm dying, man. I'm dying. This is just killing me. This is just so not fun. It's too basic. I'm not doing anything. If state of being equals yes, print fantastic. Oops, can't do that. Print. Why doesn't it like my state of being? Oh, because I didn't spell it right. Else print how can I help? Less so at the moment, not so much. But okay, fine. The world is always pretty good, so we'll just go with yes. But my stuff isn't smart, so I'm gonna go with yes with a big exclamation point. He's like, oh, how can I help you? You're way too happy. I don't have it set up to be case insensitive, so that's not gonna do anything. It's all right. I don't care. I was just playing with it. All right, check if your plants need water. Ask the user how soil moisture equals input is the soil moist? Enter one enter a value from 1 super dry to 10 super moist. If, oh my gosh, if soil moisture is less than or equal to 3, again, print yes, you should water your plants now. Why didn't it say yes? You should actually, why doesn't it just say you? I'm just gonna say you. Makes more sense. Why would I say yes twice? Why would I say yes, you should? You should. Why not just say you should? Else print. Because it's not asking. The user's not asking them. You're just telling them, don't water your plants today. 4. Blew up. What do I do? Print else soil moisture, blah blah blah. What do I do? Is it equal to or less than? I'm always getting that backwards. Even when I thought I was thinking of that correctly. Oh, it's equal to or less than. Still squiggly marking. Oh, did I do that? Oh gosh. Int. So the problem here is not that I did that wrong, it's that I didn't put in a number. 4. Don't water your plants today. Okay, we're good. On to the next one. I'm really burning out here. If yes, ask the user, have you finished my mlob3? Have you, oh my gosh, response equals input. Have you finished this lab? If res equals yes, oops, double equals, print, good job. Else, print, well, get to it, man. All right, there you go. There you go. Yes, because I so don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, I'm out of here. I should probably fail it just to make sure. No. We're happy-ish. Oh, we're done. Okay, that's enough of that, man. I can't do anymore. My brain's gonna turn to mush doing this. This is way too easy. And I'm going nuts. I just want to get it done. All right, that's enough of that. Let's go mark completed, go to the next item, unlock the solution, which I'm not even gonna look at because I don't care, I know it's good. So hey, you know, I'm learning this, but this is not my favorite way to learn. I'm 24 days ahead of the 24 days ahead of the expected for this, though. By the way. Oh, I don't want that. Okay, so there's one more section. It's got a 13-minute video decision tree along with getting your code down and doing the lab. So it's a lab. There are there's one lab and I guess a couple of short quizzes. Yeah, it's just one lab, a couple of short quizzes. Oh, and there's a grading, self-reflection, then we're done. That's it. That'll be week 3 all set and done. I'm gonna finish that one tomorrow. I gotta take a break because I gotta stop. I'm gonna go maybe get some lunch, come back down, and then I don't know what I'm doing next, but we'll see. But hey, Python slowly becoming a thing. I'm figuring out the syntax, but very low level stuff. As you can see, I figured out already how to do a while without even knowing how to do this. I think that there's probably a better way to learn this, but I'm going to finish this because I'm paying for it. So I want to get the cert at least. Plus, it's a little bit of proof that you kind of know. But this is super duper basic stuff. I'm going to hopefully do something more advanced. I don't know if the Coursera classes are going to do it for me though. They're way too wordy. Not enough action. There's times when I'm good with the words, I guess, if I'm really just learning it, but I feel like I need to see stuff happening, and this guy's a talker. Okay.